The movie opens with Bear confessing his feelings to Nikki, but it quickly turns out to be some kind of rehearsal. Bear then admits that pouring out his heart like that feels cringe to him. Right after that, someone asked if he was flirting with Nikki, and he was advised that if she really means that much to him, then he should just wait for the right moment. Bear agreed, and the next scene showed a dead cat as we learned that Bear's cat Sandy had died. This completely broke Bear, and he cried his eyes out. Later that same night, while laying on his bed scrolling through social media, he suddenly received a call from Nikki. During the call, Nikki asked him to come out, but Bear rejected the offer, saying he didn't think he could make it that night. Nikki eventually convinced him, and Bear later stopped by a jewelry store to get something for her. While searching for a gift, Bear's attention immediately went toward a strange wish box, which he ended up buying. Before completing the purchase, the seller warned him that the wish box wasn't exactly popular and that many people usually return complaining after opening it. Now outside with Nikki, she laughed at Bear after finding out he hated the taste of alcohol. While talking together, Bear opened up about the death of his cat, Sandy, and Nikki hugged him to comfort him. After spending time together, Bear offered to drive her home, and just then Nikki collected money from her friend so she could give it to a homeless man nearby. While driving home, the two of them continued talking about his cat. Nikki reassured Bear that he could always call her whenever he needed someone to talk to. Bear then admitted that it would feel strange not seeing her every day. Nikki opened up by saying she felt like she desperately needed a huge life change, and also admitted she didn't feel loved. She continued by saying Bear was the only person she could comfortably talk to about things like that. As they kept talking during the drive, Bear eventually brought up the gift he bought for her. Moments later, they arrived at Nikki's house, and she suddenly brought up how Sarah had been asking about Bear all day. She then asked how he truly felt about Sarah. Bear replied by saying he likes Sarah only as a friend, and Nikki responded by revealing that whenever she has a crush on someone, nobody ever knows about it. Just before getting out of the car, Nikki directly asked Bear if he liked her, saying this was probably the perfect time for him to admit it if he did. Bear answered by saying he thought they were just really good friends, but the second he said it, he instantly regretted those words. Right after that, Bear opened the One Wish Willow box, made his wish, and snapped the stick into two pieces. As he started his car, Nikki suddenly came back outside asking about the gift he claimed he bought for her earlier. Bear lied and told her he accidentally left it at home. Nikki then invited Bear inside, but while speaking, she mistakenly mentioned that she had just lost her cat there, before quickly correcting herself and saying that Bear was the one who lost his cat. She apologized immediately, but something clearly felt wrong. Bear asked if she was all right because she was acting strange, assuming she was drunk. Nikki then entered his car asking if they could go back to his place, but Bear told her she should just head home because he had never seen her behave like this before. The next scene shows Nikki arriving at Bear's apartment, and she commented that it looked much better than his previous place. After settling in, she apologized again for acting weird earlier. Just as Bear was about to leave, Nikki suddenly asked him to sleep with her. After spending some time together, they eventually kissed. But moments later, Nikki suddenly snapped out of it, saying she thought she saw something, which immediately frightened Bear. Later that night, Bear searched online trying to find out if the One Wish Willow actually worked. The answers he found were completely mixed, with some reviews claiming the wishes really worked, while others insisted the entire thing was fake. The next morning, Bear discovered his dead cat placed on the ground, surrounded by candles and a strange book. Later at work with Nikki, one of Bear's friends questioned why both of them arrived together, and during the conversation, Bear admitted that Nikki was clearly going through something serious. After work, Nikki wanted to follow Bear home, but Bear explained that he didn't think he could take her with him. Right after that, Nikki stepped out of his car and entered another friend's vehicle instead. Back at home, Bear called Nikki to check how she was doing, but surprisingly, she sounded perfectly fine and wasn't acting weird at all. While still talking on the phone, Bear suddenly heard someone knock on his door and went to answer it. It turned out to be Nikki, and she came over to apologize for the previous night because she knew she had scared him. She admitted that she genuinely enjoyed what happened between them, but Bear interrupted her. Nikki then continued by saying she knew Bear liked her, and asked if it would freak him out if she admitted she liked him too. Smiling, Bear confessed that he never realized she felt that way about him. From that point, their relationship officially started. The two of them began spending far more time together and doing almost everything as a couple. In the next scene, they both went out for dinner, and during their conversation, Bear asked about Nikki's dad. Nikki quickly said she didn't want to talk about him. Shortly after that, Ian started calling Bear, but he declined the call. They kept talking for a while, until Ian called again, and this time Bear answered while Nikki clearly looked uncomfortable about it. During the call, Ian revealed that he looked into Nikki's claim about her dad having cancer and discovered her dad was perfectly healthy and having going to work every day. Bear couldn't understand why Nikki would lie about something like that, and Ian suggested she might just want attention. As Ian continued listing strange things he noticed about Nikki, Bear slowly became more disturbed and uncomfortable. Bear returned to the table looking terrified, and Nikki instantly asked if he was okay. She then told him she had something for him before handing him a small gift. After opening it, Nikki explained it was a tiger's eye crystal that her mother gave her. Bear asked why she wanted him to have it, and Nikki admitted she loved him so much and didn't think she could survive without him. Finally, Bear gathered enough to ask if her dad really had cancer. Nikki admitted he didn't and immediately became defensive and emotional, begging him not to question her like that. Bear calmed her down and she asked why it even mattered, leaving Bear speechless. Later that night, after they slept together, Bear woke up the next morning and couldn't find Nikki anywhere in the room. He kept calling for her until she suddenly stepped out from hiding in the corner. Bear asked her to come back to bed, but she refused and claimed he didn't love her as much she loved him before telling him to go back to bed himself. Moments after laying down again, Nikki suddenly screamed, causing Bear to panic. She approached him while holding a verse and climbed back onto the bed beside him. When Bear tried leaving, Nikki instantly sensed it and screamed at him to stay. After they both woke up later, Bear noticed something strange about his hair while looking in the mirror. He asked Nikki if she cut some of it, and she casually admitted that she did. Bear then asked her to promise him something, telling her not to watch him while he slept, and she promised she wouldn't. Just before leaving for work, Nikki mentioned that she might stop by his workplace later, but Bear simply told her to enjoy her day off instead. While trying to leave the apartment, Bear struggled opening the door because Nikki had covered it with tape. She happily watched him leave with a huge smile on her face while peeing on herself. Later at work, Sarah talked to Bear about his relationship with Nikki, claiming everything between them was happening way too fast. Sarah grabbed Bear's lunch and noticed strange writing from Nikki on it before asking what it meant. As she continued questioning him, Bear suddenly threw up. After work, Bear was preparing to head home when his friend asked him for a ride. During the drive, they discussed Bear's relationship with Nikki. Bear then asked if he could come to boys' night since he wasn't invited earlier, and his friend agreed, but specifically told him not to bring Nikki along. Now alone in his car, Bear noticed the One Wish packet and decided to call the customer service number printed on it. Someone answered, and Bear asked if it was possible to alter a wish, but they told him it wasn't. He then asked if he could cancel the wish completely, but they explained that he couldn't. They further revealed that as long as Bear remained alive, Nikki would stay obsessed with him forever, and only his death would finally end the wish. Back at home, it looked like Nikki had been standing in the exact same spot, waiting for Bear to return. While looking around the apartment, Bear realized that Nikki had cooked his dead cat, instantly making him furious. Bear told her about boys' night, but it turned out Sarah had already invited her, leaving Bear with no choice but to bring her along. At the party, everyone started playing games, and Nikki slowly began acting strange again when she was separated from Bear. Eventually, it became Bear's turn to pick a card, and after reading it aloud, Sarah was instructed to kiss the person she secretly loved. Sarah looked directly at Bear, and the second Nikki noticed it, she immediately stood up, dragged Sarah's chair backwards, then walked over to Bear and pushed her lips toward him, demanding a kiss. After that, she seriously warned everyone in the room before suddenly pretending it was all a joke. Moments later, Nikki completely snapped, smashing a bottle before hitting herself in the head with it. Later back at home, Nikki apologized to Bear, admitting she knew Sarah liked him. Bear suggested maybe she should go back home for one night, but she instantly started crying. During that moment, Nikki genuinely terrified him. That same night while Nikki slept, Bear stayed awake, unable to rest. Shortly after, he received a message from Sarah saying she had several important things to tell him and wanted him to meet her at the park. Bear carefully tried sneaking out, but while sleeping, Nikki suddenly called his name and told him to kill her. Despite that, he successfully slipped away and met up with Sarah. Once together, Sarah explained that she had just received her welfare letter and wanted them both to open it together. Right before opening it, she admitted there was something else she wanted to tell him. She started revealing secrets about their friends, including how two of them had secretly been sleeping together for years, and how one of them only entered a relationship to get revenge on an ex. While they were still talking, Nikki suddenly burst through the glass and smashed Sarah's head against the steering wheel, killing her instantly. She calmly apologized to Bear for making him witness that, and then claimed it was partly his fault anyway. The two of them later disposed of Sarah's body, but the entire situation pushed Bear over the edge. Furious and desperate, he returned to the store where he originally bought the One-Wish box, but at first he couldn't find any left. Eventually, another one was shown to him, and Bear angrily questioned why they would ever sell something so dangerous. He bought another box and this time wished for Nikki to stop being obsessed with him, but the stick refused to break. Bear later visited one of his other friends and discovered Sarah had been texting him to come over to Bear's place, even though she was already dead, making it obvious Nikki was behind everything. Bear finally confessed about the wish he made that started all of this. He begged his friend to make another wish that could possibly stop Nikki. Bear specifically asked him to wish that he never made the original wish, but instead his friend jokingly wished for $1 billion, thinking none of it was real. Seconds later, money immediately started raining everywhere. Bear rushed back home only to realize Nikki had already found another victim. She completely snapped and demanded that Bear tell her he loved her. Right then, Bear's friend arrived to confirm that the wish actually worked, but Nikki suddenly shot him. The next scene showed Bear attempting to kill himself, but at first he couldn't go through with it. Eventually, he finally gathered enough courage and overdosed on drugs. The overdose killed him, and Nikki was just about to kill herself so she could join him when the wish suddenly disappeared. Nikki completely broke down crying as the movie finally came to an end.